You need exams.
I know that line, McDonagh.
What's that?
You need exams.
Not you need to pass them or nothing. No, you need exams.
So what's interesting for people who might not be aware, Martin McDonagh is at this point in his career already an Academy Award winner because he did a short film called Six Shooter starring Brendan Gleeson. So you guys had the history already.
Yeah.
What did he say to you? Did he just say, read this, and it was in Bruges, or did he kind of pitch it to you?
Do you know what? Oddly enough, I don't remember. I can just remember reading the script and being through the roof about it. I don't actually remember the process of that particular one. Just hugely excited. I mean, I remember the thing was they were initially Cockneys.
Oh.
Which is fascinating because then he decided when he wanted to cast me that one of them would be Irish. And then he decided that they should both be Cockneys. Irish. But what was interesting to me was that the language hardly changed at all. And, you know, we're both Dublin, and Dublin was, you know, a semi-British city for a long, long time. It's 100 years out of that particular scenario. But the actual language that was formed in Dublinese, oddly enough, there were very few words, even single words maybe, that might have had to be changed. But the whole structure, and people kind of think it was quintessentially kind of Irish dialogue, but it was written for Cockneys in Cockney. So that part of it was, I remember all that part of the process, but I don't, and then being thrilled that actually it was really nice I thought it was really nice that the two of us settled in, and we didn't have to go through any particular, you know, it was another veil that didn't need to be there because these characters are so unlikely. They're unlikely hitmen, let's be honest about it. And at the same time, you have to make sure they appear credible as hitmen, which I think happened, but it was nice not to have another veil, wasn't it?
Yeah.
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 Did either of you know where Bruges was?
I imagine the school teacher here on my right had an idea. I did.
You did?
I did.
I didn't know.
I'm still confused by the fact that even though it's a Flemish town and that Belgium is divided into the Flemish and the French, that the French version is what travelled, right? So that it's Bruges, whereas in Flemish it's Brugge.
Right. Yeah.
But who wants to say Brugge?
I kind of do.
Yeah, me too.
What's up, Brugge?
What's up, Brugge? Yeah. Yeah, but it was, yeah, it's a town in Belgium, I think.
Plus, in answer to your question where you didn't know, it's only 700 miles from me.
Right.
Where I was living.
Right. That makes sense. So you're giving me an out.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. But Colin, I've heard you say, and we've even talked about this before, where you apparently said to Martin, you had a meeting with him, and you said, like, this is a great role. Don't cast me. I'm not right for this. Why didn't you think that you were right? Because you watched the movie and it like fits you like a glove.
Chelsea Hotel, Hudson Hotel, I met Martin. I'd known Martin a little bit socially at that point, and my life had changed very dramatically in the year and a half previous to meeting him. I read the script. I thought the script was just extraordinary. I'd never read anything like it, and I've still never read anything like it, and I've read Seven Psychopaths and Three Billboards, and obviously I read The Banshees once. Can't wait to find out how it ends. I left a few last things out. But I was in a place, Dave, where I just thought, I think I was feeling a bit beat up by, certainly not by the world, but because the world's been very good to me, but my own experience. And I was aware that there was a perception of me, perhaps, which was hard-earned, I might add. And I didn't want anyone, I wanted as few people, I loved the script so much, I wanted as few people to enter the cinema with a preconceived idea of what to expect, or even worse, stay away from the film because I might have burnt a few theatrical bridges over the previous few years. I really did, and that's why I sat with Martin. I said, look, you should really cast. You could do a better job at casting. I mean, Brendan's great. I could see him in the part, but you could do much better than casting. And he said, yeah, great, but I don't care. And I went in, and that was it. And I was so glad, because it was really a game changer for me, just creatively and personally.
Well, I went back and watched it again for the first time in 15 years the other day, and of course, Brendan, I definitely took notice, having seen Banshees a bunch of times, that at the end of In Bruges, your hands are like very bloody. I felt like it was a little bit of a foreshadowing for what Martin was going to have you do. Like, is it fun for you to see these through lines in his work, though, because they are there?
They are there if you look at the dogs. I'm not sure about the hand per se. I mean,
Make something up.
Exactly.
yeah, no, I'm not sure if there's anything to do really with the hand that continues to. It's always interesting about Martin, sort of thematically, to try and figure out, the ties and all that. But I would see them as, they're very different characters. And I think Martin, particularly in Banshees, was trying to bring us away as far as he could from the people we had been in Bruges, so that it wasn't in any way a sequel, or it wasn't in any way a continuum. So I think that, in fact, I don't think there was any prescience in the bloody hand. The rest of me was kind of a mess too.
It's kind of like bringing the band back together, but they're going acoustic now.
Yeah. I fell 150 feet or something from a tower, so I wasn't really presentable in any part of my corpus. Never mind the hands.
You weren't findable. There was 1 foot on the other side of the town square and a couple of hands over there.
Yeah, I was mixed up, all right. So I do think there was that Martin didn't want to a repeat performance in the writing of it, or so interesting enough. Yeah,
Absolutely. Colin, the great thing about In Bruges, it raised the profile of everybody involved because it got these 3 big Golden Globe nominations. It was nominated for Best Picture and then 2 Best Actor nominations. So you guys were nominated in the same category.
Yeah.
I could only imagine, knowing you guys, you probably each wanted the other one to win.
Totally. Without a shadow of a doubt.
So what's your
no reservations?
What's your recollection of that moment?
I can't recall how much.
He won, by the way. He won. Colin
Yeah,
won.
no, but it was for my first sober blackout. I swear to God, I can't even really remember it. Because it still, it just didn't seem... Anyway, it was a very strange moment. And the thing is with him, it's so obvious. I mean, of course, you're kind of somewhere inside you want to hear and you question the party that wants to hear your name and all that shite. But I know he wishes the best for me and wants only good things to happen for me. And I know that he knows that I only wish the best things for him and want good things to happen for him. So there's a kind of a harmony there that is 100% real.
Love it.
And so, after 2 months, he started returning me calls. As opposed to what it would have been an understandable year. No, it was. I mean, I was.
The reason we actually fell out of our Banshees.
14 years.
Yeah.
That's why it took 14 years. No, it was just, he wants.
He offered me a hemisphere anyway from the stage, which was. That's what I remember about that. I was kind of really overjoyed, and it was the phrasing of the word hemisphere from the Golden Globe was kind of pretty remarkable and very generous as always.
No,
well done. All right, let's watch a couple other clips. So what we're going to watch now is a scene of you, Colin, in The Lobster, which is a favorite of mine, directed and written by Yorgos Lanthimos, who's like a freaking genius.
Yeah,
and then also a bit from Cold Mountain, featuring Brendan Gleeson. So let's check it out.